of the Sartorial Geek podcast is sponsored by Jordan Dene. Jordan Dene has all kinds of geek chic apparel and accessories. Our designs are hand-lettered and inspired by our favorite characters and stories in pop culture. We have tank tops that can be worn with a skirt, under a blazer, to the gym, and as pajamas. Please check us out at jordandene.com and all over the internet at Jordan Dene NYC. Hey, welcome to the Sartorial Geek podcast. I'm Jordan Ellis of Jordan Dene, and today is the first episode in something super cool that we're doing that's brand new. If you're listening to this in real time, we have a Kickstarter that is live right now, and one of the reward options that there are a limited number left is that you can be a guest on our podcast, which is so awesome. So we have the very first person here, Miriam. Wait, is your last name Salzman?
Salzman.
Did I pronounce that? Salzman? Okay, sorry. I forgot to ask before. Miriam Salzman is here. We actually know each other, so this isn't weird at all. But so that's great. But it's a perfect intersection because our shirt of the month is Orphan Black related, and you are maybe the biggest Orphan Black fan that I know. So I feel like we're going to chat a lot about Orphan Black, which is awesome.
Woot. I like that. Let's do it.
So if you have not watched the show at all and you want to watch it completely spoiler free, maybe come back to this episode after you've watched it. But if you just want to hear about how cool the show is, or if you're a super fan too, then I think you'll love this conversation.
I'm fairly positive BBC America is currently it's all available on demand if you have TV. And it's all on Amazon Prime, just to shamelessly plug Orphan Black, where you can watch it. If you've met me, you probably could just ask to borrow the DVDs or come over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I was watching it on Amazon. It's such a good show. It's such a good show.
So good. So Tatiana Maslany, the lead in the show, was just nominated for her third Emmy Award for the show.
She really deserves it. Really deserves it.
But the show aired a year ago, so they didn't expect it or campaign for it. So I think that's why it's now up on. They've relisted it for people to watch.
That makes sense. I mean, honestly, there's so many good reasons to watch the show because the plot is great and all the characters are great, but you could watch it just for her acting abilities. It's unreal. So I guess give a brief overview of the plot for anyone who has no idea what the show is.
Yeah. So for those who don't know anything about Orphan Black, it's a show about clones. It was on BBC America. It finished airing about a year ago. There are 5 seasons, 50 episodes. It follows the story of Sarah Manning, who is a British grifter. She's a con artist. She sees a woman who looks exactly like herself and watches her walk in front of a train. And that is the inciting action of the show. Finds out that she was part of an illegal human cloning experiment from birth, and conspiracy ensues. Tatiana Maslany plays about 22 different characters over the course of all 50 episodes, including her own
crazy.
protagonist, antagonist, season 2 antagonist, and her 2 main supporting characters. And there are about 6 other people in the show.
Well, and one of the coolest things, I've seen this happen a few times, in a few different movies and TV shows, but I'm always so impressed. She plays so she'll play a clone trying to pretend to be a different clone. And those are my favorite times.
So
it's so amazing.
It's the most amazing acting thing I've ever seen. Outside of making nerdy friendship bracelets and gushing about Orphan Black, I am a freelance stage manager. So I love watching actors work and the craft that goes into it, because it's that thing that you couldn't pay me to do, but I would love to be paid to facilitate other people to do it, because that's kind of what I do. It's called a clone swap. And what she does is she layers all of so for example, if she's playing Sarah, the main character playing Allison, who's the soccer mom, she is layering in. So she's playing Sarah, And then she's layering in all of the like judgment and stereotype that Sarah feels about Allison, and then playing Allison and ignoring the part of her brain that also plays Allison from scratch. And so she'll let the accent slip, and she'll judge herself a bit, like, or she'll judge who she's pretending to be. But like other times, like there's one point where she plays Rachel and it's tricking the audience into believing that it's Sarah. But it was
That's
Sarah
so
as
crazy.
Rachel. And so they use it, like they're constantly finding great ways to use it. It's just amazing.
I feel like that's like, if there's only one thing that can convince you to like give this show a try, it's that. It's so cool. But then also like all the other characters are great too, and the plot is amazing. Like
Everyone who works on the show is super nice.
Yeah, because you've actually gotten to meet all of them, a bunch of them.
Yeah, maybe. I think I may have met everyone.
That's awesome. Yeah, so like tell everyone why and how, because it's kind of crazy.
So the internet is a beautiful place that is sometimes not so beautiful, but when it comes to Orphan Black, it was always been a beautiful place for myself. I make friendship bracelets, not the kind that you made in summer camp, but like the kind of crazy ones where like Supergirl's face protrudes out of it, or like
it has super detailed.
Like Tatiana once wrote all 4 of the main clones, Sarah, Cosima, Allison, and Helena, on a piece of paper and tweeted it, and I found it and turned all of that into grid friendship bracelets that say, I call them clone silhouettes. It has the silhouette of the clone and then their name written in Tat's handwriting.
It's so cool.
And so I started making those, but I started making a DNA bracelet first. It was the first bracelet I ever designed from scratch. I think I had made 2 attempts where I used half used the generator, half used Photoshop of like something for someone else that I don't remember what it was, and like a Cyberman. And then the DNA was the first thing I made myself. Absolutely hated the pattern. I hated everything about it. It didn't look like the DNA strands the way I wanted them to be, and almost scrapped the entire thing.
How'd you fix it?
Well, what ended up happening was I met my friend Tara, who lives in Australia, and she was hosting a video podcast for a website called Geek Bomb, and they were interviewing Catherine Alexandri. Catherine Alexandri was Tatiana Maslany's acting double. She played all of the clones and all the clone scenes, and was the reason why I started watching the show, which I can go back to. And I showed it to her, and she loved it. I showed the bracelet to her when we got on camera, and she loved it. And so I made a couple of adjustments to like make it a little less complicated. Like I had some like white dots and like some extra orange dots that were in the original, the DNA logo that, like, if anyone knows Orphan Black, they know Cosima's laptop case image is a DNA blue, red, and yellow double helix. So I cut out some
we can show a picture in the show notes too if anyone has not seen that yet.
Yeah, I have some pictures that of them layered together. I can send you.
Sweet.
And so it's like a really like vivid image that anybody can guess. And so that was the first thing I listed, and I just started posting it on Tumblr and asking people to share it and buy it. And then from there, I started posting bracelets on Twitter, and then like tweeting them at people, and like eventually I tweeted everything I had made to a point about a year and a half later to Clonecast, the official Orphan Black podcast they were doing out of Temple Street's office.
Yeah.
And it was co-hosted by Mackenzie Donaldson, who started out as John and Graham, the showrunner's assistant, and ended as one of the co-producers on the show.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And she's did that all before she turned 30 or something.
Wow.
She's incredible. And they were looking at this picture of my bracelets going, oh my God, how did she do that? I don't know. Did she find our marketing fonts? Like, how did this happen? I want to know this. I want this. And so I tweet after the episode aired. I listened to it and then I tweeted at them, here was the image that I used for these handwritings. Which bracelets do you want? I'll send you some. So I sent Mackenzie, Sarah, a Helena, and an Allison bracelet in the mail to Canada, and got a response back that she wore Allison to the ballet, Sarah to the Drake concert, and gave Graham Manson, the co-creator of the show, the Helena bracelet, and he hadn't taken it off since Monday. He then wore it to
That's
AT.
So cool.
It was really cool. And then I 2 days later saw him wearing it in pictures while talking on a panel in the a film conference in Texas.
That's so awesome.
So she was like, but I really wanted that Helena bracelet. And I was like, I can send more. I can send you for the whole writer's room. She's like, everyone would fight over these. So 2 months go by, and then I made and sent 30 bracelets to the cast and writers of Orphan Black, including my Jessie's towing bracelet, which I think I've sold once to my roommate while living with her. I think I might have even gave it to her. I don't even remember it. It was so long ago. But one of the writers who doesn't wear bracelets grabbed it immediately on site and went, "This is mine." And then whoever had opened the packaging was like that. And then it was a free for all in the writers room for bracelets.
That's best case scenario too, because sometimes you send packages to people that you want to your stuff, and then you never hear from them again. So that's so cool that you've actually seen people wearing them. Yeah.
I also another year goes by and I visited the set of Orphan Black. Orphan Black films in the winter in Canada. Disclaimer. They film in Toronto in negative 19-degree weather. And I stood outside with my friend Elsie for, I think it was 5 hours, 3 hours. We watched Tat as Sarah film a scene in season 4. And then 2 hours we watched Jordan Gavaris, who played Felix, film a scene walking up and down the street. And
how did you get to go?
I had messaged Mackenzie, and because I was stage manager, I wanted to kind of gauge how assistant directing in television kind of works with theater. And cool. I've lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Sorry.
I had asked her if I could shadow an AD, and the dates that I was in town didn't work out all too well. So it kind of was a lot of back and forth, because the weekend I was there was the weekend they filmed Peaches. If anyone has seen season 4, it's season 4, episode 7. The episode that Peaches is in was one of the nights that I was in town. And so they couldn't have any extra people because it was already a 60-person extra scene in a bar that was really small that had pointy objects sticking out of the walls.
Right. Okay.
So they couldn't have any extra bodies.
Yep.
But we got to watch them film the exterior scenes. And so instead of shadowing, I just got to watch. And I got a tour of the studios. And my friend and I also recorded an episode of Clonecast.
That's
so
awesome.
It was this whole little cool thing that happened. Everything happens once a year.
Super cool.
So a year later, I sent them more bracelets. In the time in between, I left a sign up sheet for anyone in the office or in the studio that wanted bracelets, and sent up another 9 or so. And then a year later, I get an email from Mackenzie that says, "Hey, can you make anything simple, something an 8-year-old can make for season 5?" And I immediately responded with a picture of 4 bracelets I could make when I was about 8. And she replied back with "This is the one we want, the basic candy stripe stitch."
Yeah, I can do that. I remember those days.
So it was like, we need them in this color and this color. And so I was like, okay. So not knowing anything about who I was making bracelets for, I wasn't sure. I mean, I could narrow down that I was told small child and adult,
Right.
An adult and a small adult and a child. So I wasn't sure if it was like Kira or Charlotte, the two kids on the show. And I had no idea which clone it was. So, but I knew that I needed like a blue and white one and like a pink and purple one. So I picked a blue from a Sarah bracelet and a blue from a Cosima bracelet and a white from that I use in a Helena bracelet and, a light shade of purple that I used in both the adult bracelet and the kid bracelet. And then in the kid bracelet, it was like a purple that I used in an MK bracelet and a pink that I use in because they needed it in like 2 days. So I was like going with the string that I had. So I was just like I was picking colors out of like my other Orphan Black bracelets, like because I'm me and I get a little meta with my color choices, but because they were like, can we have this by like Tuesday, and they were emailing me on Thursday or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
And so I like grabbed all these colors and I made them the bracelets. And then 2 months later, Mackenzie goes, can you make us more?
Whoa.
And this is where I want to put a spoiler alert, another one, because
we want to take a quick break to thank this episode's sponsor, Bombsheller. Suit up in superhero level spandex. I love Bombsheller and wear their leggings all the time, and Liz is about to put on her first pair, which is super exciting.
And I guess now is the time. So I'm pulling them out of their package. I got Doctor Who leggings. A of all, they are basically the cutest things I've ever seen in my life. They have a TARDIS on them, on each leg. And I'm putting them on now. Hey guys, these are the softest leggings I've ever put on my body. And I'm also like pretty hippie. And they are like conforming to my curves in a way that I definitely agree with. Which is perfect. They actually come in sizes extra small through 6X. So that is like one of the biggest size ranges I've ever seen for leggings. So Bombsheller's leggings are 4-way stretch, moisture wicking, SPF 50+, and they are super comfortable. They're also made in the USA. That's amazing. Also, if you guys want a pair of your own, you can use the code Sartorial Geek at bombsheller.com to get your first pair for 10% off.
So then 2 months later, I got emailed asking me to make bracelets for the series finale. And the series finale
so crazy.
was told that I could make, if I could make baby bracelets. My roommate is a nanny, so we measured the wrists of the babies.
Oh, yeah.
And like figured out, okay, they just need to be like about half the size of like what a normal bracelet was. So I made these like little tiny baby bracelets that became the bracelets that Helena's babies in the series finale like wear to identify which twin was which.
Oh my gosh.
And then the bracelets in the prior episode, which is episode 507, it's called Gag or Throttle. It's the Rachel themed. So season 5, each episode there's an episode in each. I'm going to start that sentence over again.
Oh yeah, go for it.
There's an episode in each that surrounds about each clone. So not every episode is like that. Some just drive plot, but like some are flashback episodes that like give you a little insight to like the characters. And that was the structure for the final season. And so 507 is the Rachel Duncan themed episode. And Kira gives Rachel the bracelet, and the bracelet becomes this like symbol of Rachel's redemption arc. That I was not expecting her to have or see. I really expected Rachel Duncan to die.
And you had no idea before the show aired, right? Like you just had to watch it and like see what happened.
Eventually, when I had gotten an email that it was Kira and Rachel, like somebody had put it in an email to me that like,
cool.
Like that they were like, I think it was like, oh, we want to pay you. and we want to pay you for the Kira Rachel bracelets. So like I had no idea that like, it was Kira and Rachel, but like I was also so excited I forgot to ask them to pay me to make the bracelets.
There you go.
So,
that's
like,
awesome.
So I knew that it was Kira Rachel. I had no idea what capacity. I didn't know what babies they were. Halfway through season 5, I thought that the baby bracelets were going to be something different than I had originally thought. So it was kind of a cool journey knowing there would be bracelets, but not what capacity
that's like the
used
coolest way to watch watching your favorite show and then knowing something you made is eventually going to show up on it is like the coolest thing in the world.
It was really cool. And then when the episode aired, so I have no idea if this is true, but there's a character with my name in 507.
Whoa.
And so I was finishing up at work, and I like told everyone who like had to lock up the theater I was working in that like, I don't need to stay. You don't have to kick me out. But I had just found out. So I thought that my bracelets were going to be in episode 508. I didn't know they were actually going to be in 507 until the promo photos came out earlier in the week that were my bracelets. So I thought I had another week to make bracelets.
Oh, right. to get ready.
Yeah. Yeah. So like that was weird. Like a crazy thing of just like seeing my work as a promo photo on BBC America's Twitter and not being allowed to say that it was mine.
Oh yeah. When could you start talking about it?
They wrote a blog post about it, like that came out the next day.
Perfect. So you didn't have to wait that long. That's good.
Yeah, the episode came out on Saturday, and I think by Monday there was a post that was like, "This is mine." Like
That's
no
so
better
cool.
friend than Clone Club. I'll get you the link. You could put it in the description.
Yeah, please. That's awesome.
And it's like a cool little blog post, and Mackenzie wrote it. I think Mackenzie wrote it about like
that's
how
nice
they
too
like,
that they did that because places don't always do that. So that's super cool.
And they linked it to my Etsy shop, which was really nice.
Oh yeah.
I have legal permission to sell on Etsy anything that's copywritten Orphan Black from Boat Rocker. I have a little agreement with them that like as long as I don't sell too many year to year, that I can use any of their copywritten stuffs to my heart's
That's so
content.
cool too. Like that's super cool of them because I mean, I know a ton of like fan artists and fan creators and lots of properties aren't as cool about stuff like that. So I feel like this really is like best case scenario of a show realizing that there are fans who are like super passionate and have a cool thing. And then to like actually integrate it back into what's going on is incredible. Like that's so cool.
It was really cool because part of it was like, we know that we're not losing any money because you sold a couple of bracelets. Like you don't make enough money
and
for us
Orphan
to
Black
care.
doesn't have a ton of merch either, right? So like it's kind of nice for fans to be able to get something if the show doesn't have it on its own.
Yeah. I mean, I started making my bracelets a full, I think, year and a half before anything official came out. And that was like, let me count. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pop figures that came out. I had to count. They're all in my dressing room.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
And a line that came out at Hot Topic that as soon as it went out, nothing ever happened after that. Then I think what happened was the merchandising like copyright switched from BBC America to the Canadian company that created the show.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I think. Now, don't quote me on that. I don't really know. But I think some of that changed.
So
I think some of that changed. And so I would love, like, there's no Delphine pop figure. I know tons of fans would love that. But the Felix one is amazing because Felix doesn't wear pants. It's just his butt and the apron.
That's really funny.
It's like probably the best pop figure to exist.
I love that.
Like, he's got like a bottle and a paintbrush and he's got paint all over him and he doesn't have clothes on.
That That's awesome. And he is one of the characters I was saying. Like, there are some other super great characters in this show, too, on top of all the clones. And he is, like, one of the best.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
That's so awesome. So, but you... Well, first, say what your business is called and where people can find you. And then talk about, like, you don't just do Orphan Black inspired stuff either.
No, I've been trying to branch out since, because it's been a year since Orphan Black aired, like over a year. And that feels surreal. And my shop is called Summer of String. I forgot to mention that.
No.
I started making friendship bracelets in summer camp, and then decided that in college that I'm like, even though I wasn't going back to camp, I still missed making bracelets. And like summer happened, and I was like, oh, that's what I need. I need to take out my boxes of string and start making friendship bracelets. And so my shop is kind of a testament to that.
That's perfect.
And then I found my geeky niche, and so yeah, I have a Supergirl bracelet. I have a bunch of superhero bracelets. I have a bunch of Harry Potter stuff. I'm wearing Jordan's Harry Potter t-shirt right now.
Yeah.
I was wearing Mischief Managed earlier today, and now I'm wearing I Solemnly Swear That I'm Up to No Good.
Those are some old school designs, but I love it that they're still around.
Yeah, they're the first ones that I got from you.
Oh, that's so awesome.
I think I bought the Mischief Managed one when we met. Because we met at Broadway Con.
Yeah, and I have the Supergirl bracelet and the Harry Potter bracelet, and we actually did a featured blog post on Sartorial Geek about your company and your bracelet. So we'll totally link up to that too, if anyone hasn't seen it yet, because you described it well. Like they're more like threaded like yarn bracelets than friendship bracelets. Like if you're thinking that, they're way more intricate and detailed. They're super cool.
I like to say they're friendship bracelets on crack.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's exactly that makes a lot of sense.
The technical term, it's called an alpha pattern friendship bracelet. So instead of like when you're making a candy stripe bracelet, you go as far as your last string and then you start back. So if you're going from left to right, you start left and then go back to the left and start over again. I'm going back and forth and threading in other colors.
So it's like weaving kind of.
Yeah.
But
if you live in New York, you can sometimes, you can find me on the train making friendship bracelets. If I get a seat, like if I'm going to one of Jordan's events and I have to take the G train because I live in Harlem.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting around making bracelets. So like
that's great though. I love seeing people on the train doing like their little hobbies that are like portable. I think that's super cool.
Yeah, it's always really interesting because I kind of like start performing in a way if I like can see people watching me and I'm like get really into it. But sometimes I'm just really into it and I can't tell people are watching. But like I get a lot of like if I'm making a small bracelet, people go, "Oh, I used to make those when I was little," and I think, "Oh, you think I'm 16?"
Yeah, you do look super young, so that makes sense.
And like if I'm making a Supergirl bracelet, I get a lot of like stares and people who eventually go, "Ooh, what is it that you're doing?" Because like they're like two different extremes of making friendship bracelet, just like something that you're aware of and something that like it looks like a foreign piece of weaving. So like
yeah,
that's
totally
fun.
That's so awesome.
So like trying to find like, because the Orphan Black, as much as I love Orphan Black and can make a million different Orphan Black bracelets, like I have 3 signatures that I haven't made into like, I have never made a Felix bracelet because like season 5 came and went and was too busy to make new things.
Yeah.
That by the time like, I had time to like make my Felix bracelet and my Mrs. S bracelet and my art bracelet, I like no one was buying Orphan Black stuff. So like I have a bunch of superhero stuff and like to call my Flash bracelet, my running hero bracelet.
Yep.
My flying female superhero bracelet. And what else do I have? I feel like I have to pull up my Etsy shop because I'm blanking out on the bracelets I sell. Oh,
I know you have some like magical ones because we have a few Harry Potter inspired things here that we took photos of. Which is super cool.
Yeah, I love that Harry's Eyes bracelet. That's like my favorite thing that doesn't sell is my Harry's Eyes bracelet. It's just like that, like lightning bolt glasses. Like,
yes, but it's nice and subtle. Yeah, it's nice and subtle. Like, I mean, obviously that's our favorite thing is being able to wear nerdy things that you can wear. Like, you could wear these bracelets every day and it looks like a part of an outfit, not like, hi, I'm dressing up for a convention. It's like, you can just wear it in your normal life, which I think is awesome.
Yeah. Like, so I guess the big things for this year have been, I made Noise and Toit bracelets when Brooklyn Nine-Nine got canceled and rehired, re-canceled and then renewed. And those have become like two of my, like one of my most popular listings. They're really kind of small. So I sell them as a set. I fell in love with the Magicians this year. So I have like all 7 keys in one bracelet, which is madness. It is too big for my tiny little wrist.
That's super cool though.
I have the Break Bills logo, which is like just obscured enough that it doesn't look like a B and key. It just looks like a cool shape.
Sweet.
And then, have you watched The Magicians?
Yeah.
So the traveler tattoos that Penny and Victoria have, I really wanted to make those. I really wanted to make those and couldn't get a good screenshot, so I tweeted it at them both after live tweeting an episode that they had both been responding to my tweets. And Hannah, who plays Victoria, replied and said, like, here, there's a video on my Instagram account. And so I was like tweeting at her at MNSalz91, which is like my personal Twitter account. And then started finding the videos on my Summer String account. She started messaging me. She helped me design the bracelet. I must have been up until like 2:30 in the morning, made it the next day and sent it to her in Vancouver.
That's crazy.
Like, she helped me design like the traveler tattoos. So they are like person who wore said finger tattoos approved, like right image. And like, that was really cool. That was a really cool thing. She then, the con that wasn't Universal Fan Con, she went to that and was I was coordinating with Tristan to try and like get her a backup one because the one that I had sent her had gotten lost in the mail. It was like whole thing. So like, I almost like sent, but then like everyone wasn't sure if they were going down to Maryland or not. She ended up getting the one that I had first sent, not the one I had sent as a replacement, wore it and like posted a video on her Instagram with Jade, who plays Katie.
That's so cool.
Like, about how awesome the bracelets are. So I'm hoping that I can give a bunch of bracelets to people at New York Comic Con if I can make it to their panel this year.
That's so awesome.
And
because oh god, what?
And then like I have some Star Trek bracelets. My friend Mary Chifo is in Star Trek Discovery. So I made a bracelet for her that she wore in Hall H that she wears one of my bracelets at every single convention that she goes to. So my bracelets have been to Germany and like Star Trek Las Vegas and San Diego Comic-Con Hall H and like all over the place. And so like, that's really cool. One came full circle. Like, it went 2 cons around the world and then came back to do an event in New York.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I sold my second Star Trek bracelet the other day because she posted a picture. So like, that was really exciting.
That's awesome. So we'll link to your shop and stuff, but tell everyone again, like your shop username and your social handles.
Yeah. So it's Summer. I can be found on Summer A String and at MNSalz91 on Twitter and Instagram. And then I am summerofstring.com or summerofstring.etsy.com. Both will auto follow to, you can't see me pointing, to your shop. Will auto to my shop. Yeah. Words are really hard today.
No, I am with you. That's awesome. Yeah, and we'll link to all that too, and we'll link to like the photos we took wearing them because they're so.
I love those photos.
Awesome.
And then I'll send you. We didn't talk about it, but I'll send you the sci-fi post from a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we'll link up to like all the cool stuff and like photos of cool people wearing them.
Yeah, photos of cool people wearing them. A lot of that's on my Instagram. But yeah.
Sweet. Thanks so much for chatting with me tonight. I like want to go finish watching Orphan Black now.
Oh, you do? That's exciting.
Yeah, I need to go.
I've been saying it since we've met.
Yeah, that's how I'm going to spend my night catching up on the last season that I haven't seen yet.
I'm really excited for Jordan's t-shirt. I've been saying Orphan Black t-shirt on like a broken record for like 4 years almost, I feel like.
Yes. So if you're listening to this before the end of September 2018, you can get our Follow the Crazy Science shirt. It's our limited shirt of the month. And if you're also listening to this before our Kickstarter ends and you want to chat on the podcast, you can totally pick that reward and we can hang out. You can also, if you're listening to this later or now, you can check out our Patreon for different rewards, and you can find us at Sartorial Geek all over the internet. So thanks so much for hanging out with us. Have a great week and stay nerdy. Bye.